On June 10, 2022, Karen Reed was indicted by a Norfolk County, Massachusetts grand jury on charges of second-degree murder, manslaughter while operating under the influence, and leaving the scene of personal injury and death in connection with her boyfriend's death, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, who died on January 29, 2022. The case was heard in Norfolk County Superior Court in Dedham before Judge Beverly Canone. After the first trial ended in a mistrial, a second trial began in April 2025. On June 2, 2025, former Canton police officer Kelly Dever, employed with the Boston Police Department, became a key witness for the defense. Ms. Dever's testimony is central to what is known in Massachusetts as a Bowden defense. This legal strategy allows the defense to argue that the police investigation was biased or scientifically inadequate, thereby creating reasonable doubt without requiring the defense to prove an alternative theory of the crime. On January 29, 2022, Officer Dever was working as a patrol officer in Canton when Mr. O'Keefe was found unresponsive in the snow outside 34 Fairview Road. According to her initial report, she saw ATF agent Brian Higgins and Chief Ken Berkowitz in the Sallyport garage that day. During the trial, Ms. Red's attorney, Alan Jackson, examined Officer Dever. When questioned by the defense, Officer Dever testified that she had been asked by her sergeant to fill in for dispatch operations after a call came in about a person in a snowbank.
Do you want to be here today, ma'am?
I am put on the stand in a murder trial. I don't know why I'm here. I have no connection to this case.
You have no idea why you're here?
You've never talked to me. Nobody on the fence seems to talk to me since prior to the first trial. So I don't have any idea why I'm here.
No clue whatsoever, as you sit here, why you might have been called to the stand.
No.
Are you uncomfortable testifying?
No, it's part of my job.
You're a professional police officer, correct?
Correct.
That means you're a professional witness to a certain degree, correct?
In the crimes that I've gone on the stand before, yes, I have been.
And you understand the oath?
Yes, I do.
What is that oath?
The oath is to tell the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth, correct?
Objection.
Sustained.
I'll rephrase it. Is there more to that oath when you raise your right hand as a witness?
I'm objecting.
One of the monitors that you looked at, that you had access to at the dispatch area, did it show the video footage or the video feed from the Sallyport garage?
So I already said I don't remember where in dispatch the screen with the cameras was. There was a camera in the Sallyport. So if I'm going to make the assumption, then yes, of course. But now that's an assumption.
I'm not asking you for an assumption now. I'm asking you, did one of the feeds, now we've talked about the camera, the other side of the camera is the feed. Do you recall whether or not there was footage that you could see on a monitor in the dispatch area that showed the Sallyport?
I'm going to go with yes.
Okay.
My clarification.
How long?
So I don't know what that means. So what do you mean you're going to go with yes? Is your answer yes?
Yes.
Thank you. What time about did you take over the dispatch desk that morning?
Immediately following when the 911 call came in.
Would have been 6-ish in the morning. Does that sound about right?
Sometime, I would say towards the later of my shift, but it was the middle of winter and dark out, so I don't know if it was 4, 5, 6.
Understood. But it was still dark out.
Yes.
Once you took over the dispatch desk, did you stay there even past your normal shift ending to support the investigation that was ongoing?
Not to support the investigation. I was just on overtime.
Okay. So you stayed past your normal end time of your shift that day?
Yes, on overtime.
You stayed into the afternoon, correct?
I believe the shift ended at 3:45 p.m. for the Canton Police.
But you stayed past your ending shift time, correct?
Objection.
I'm sorry, I'll rephrase it. Did you stay past your ending shift time?
For my regular shift, yes, because I was on overtime on the day shift.
Did you observe anything unusual that stood out in your mind that occurred, pardon me, in the Sally Port while you were on that shift?
So we've discussed this previously. I can't make that statement on the stand because I've been provided information released by the defense that it was not a memory, that it was a distorted memory. Therefore, I can't state it because at this point it would be a lie. I cannot make that statement that you're wanting me to make on the stand because I've advised that that would be a lie.
Ms. Dever, I've never asked you to make a statement one way or the other on the stand. I'm asking you an open-ended question.
Okay,
Did
so
you,
prior
let
to
me
the
ask
first,
you a question. Did you observe something in the Sallyport garage on January 29th, 2022 that you found unusual, that stuck out in your mind?
given factual information that makes it so I know I did not, no.
So the answer is no.
Correct.
Do you remember being interviewed on August 9th, 2023?
I do.
That was by a separate law enforcement agency, correct?
Yes.
Two separate law enforcement agents, is that right?
Yes.
And you were advised during the course of that interview on August 29th of something, correct?
Can you rephrase
I'm sorry,
that?
August 9th.
So what was I advised of? Can you rephrase that?
Sure. Were you advised that lying to those officers would be a crime?
So it was a willing conversation. I've spoken with their legal team. Because of the fact I was provided factual information that showed a statement of mine was a false memory, it was not a lie. Therefore, I made it in good faith, and I retracted given information that it could not be accurate.
Ms. Dever, did you understand my question?
Yes, I did. You threatened to charge me with perjury during our phone call prior to the first trial if I didn't lie on the stand right now. I'm telling you, I did not see anything. Factually, I've been provided evidence by a timeline that it is not correct.
Ms. Dever, my question was this. Were you advised that it was a crime to lie to those law enforcement agents? Yes or no?
No.
They never told you, they never admonished you that it would be a crime to lie to them?
Objection.
Sustained. As to form, Mr. Jackson.
Sure. Did they advise you of anything? Any consequences of lying to them?
So we had a willing conversation.
Yes or no?
I don't recall.
So, okay, there's your answer.
You don't recall if they advised you of anything?
No, because it
Okay,
wasn't.
As a trained law enforcement agent.
Go ahead and ask a question, but both of you only one at a time, okay?
Understood. As a trained law enforcement officer, are you aware that it's a crime to lie to certain other law enforcement agents?
When you have intent to lie, yes.
Okay. So you knew that when you spoke to these law enforcement officers, correct?
Yes.
Did you tell these law enforcement officers that you, in fact, saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport with the
Objection.
SUV? May I finish my question?
You can finish this question. Go ahead.
Did you tell those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023, that you saw Brian Higgins and Chief Berkowitz go into the Sallyport together and alone with the SUV for a wildly long time?
That was my recollection at the time.
So you did say that?
At the time, that is what I recollected.
Okay.
According to Ms. Dever, she inadvertently provided false information to federal investigators on August 9, 2023, regarding the timeline of Mr. O'Keefe's death. Under Title 18, Section 1001 of the United States Code, it is a federal felony to knowingly and willfully make a materially false statement or conceal a material fact in any matter within the jurisdiction of the federal government. The statute requires that the false statement be made with knowledge of its falsity and that it concerns a fact that could influence the government's decision-making. However, Ms. Dever testified that upon reviewing her own timeline later, she realized the error and voluntarily retracted her statement, explaining that her memory had initially been inaccurate. Because Ms. Dever corrected her statement before any charges were brought and maintained that the falsehood was unintentional, her conduct would likely not meet the knowingly and willfully requirement necessary for prosecution under Section 1001. When questioned by Mr. Jackson about her original statement to federal investigators, Ms. Dever refused to adopt it, stating that she could not corroborate it because doing so now, knowing it was false, would constitute perjury. Under Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 268, perjury is a felony offense committed when a person lawfully under oath willfully swears falsely to a material matter. Mr. Jackson clarified that he was not attempting to suborn perjury. Rather, he was using her prior inconsistent statement to impeach her credibility, highlighting how her story had shifted between the federal interview and her current courtroom testimony. Impeachment is the act of questioning a witness's credibility, which may be done by showing that their story has changed over time. Doing so, Mr. Jackson would fortify the possibility of Bowdoin defense previously mentioned.
Between the time that you were interviewed on August 9th, 2023, and when we spoke sometime in maybe it was April or so of last year, does that sound about right?
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with any other party about your potential involvement in this case?
No.
Did you have a conversation with anybody in the commissioner's office at Boston Police Department?
Not about anything malicious.
I didn't use the word malicious. Why do you say malicious?
I had a conversation, but it was my department saying, regardless of what I need to say on the stand, they support me.
You were asked to go to the commissioner's office, correct?
Yes.
How long had you been on the Boston Police Department at the time that you were invited to go up to the Commissioner Michael Cox's office?
It had to have been before the first trial, so, and I know it was when the agency released information to outside people.
That's not my question.
Okay, so I don't recall.
Okay. You don't recall how long you had been on the force, generally, at the time that you were called up to the Commissioner's office, on the Boston Police Department?
No.
Was it 5 years, 2 years, 2 months? Give me a ballpark.
So I've been on the department for 2 years and 2 months. I would say somewhere in the range of a year.
Okay. Did you find it unusual for would you call yourself a rookie back then?
Yes.
Did you find it unusual that a rookie police officer would be called up to the commissioner's office personally to discuss a matter?
It was a reflection of how good of a leader he is. It was not anything that I found unusual, given the fact he is someone who wanted to show support for his officer.
Ms. Dever, when we left off, I was asking you about the meeting at the commissioner's office. And I want to clear this up. Was General Legal Counsel in that office or not when you had a meeting with the commissioner, Michael Cox?
No, it was just me and the commissioner.
At some point, did the commissioner say to you that Boston Police Department, insofar as your connection to this case is concerned, Boston Police Department fully supports you?
Yes.
Did he also say, do the right thing?
That's a direct quote, so I can't recollect if he said a direct quote 2 years ago.
A year ago, when you talked to us, the defense, did you tell the defense that when you were called up to the commissioner's office, he told you 2 things? Commissioner Cox told you, number 1, the Boston Police Department supports you, and Officer Dever, do the right thing.
So he said my name correctly. He said Dever, and
That's my mistake. Let's see. You want me to repeat the question so I get
So,
that right?
Mr. Jackson, let's go ahead and answer, please.
yes, and he said nothing with the intent of guiding me one way or the
I didn't ask you
other.
what his intent was, madam. I asked you what he said to you. What were his words to you?
That he supports me.
And
Just wanted me to tell the truth up here.
his words were, do the right thing. Correct?
I don't recall.
How many other times have you testified in a court of law? During the course of your job?
Two dozen, 3 dozen.
And
Actually testified probably ballpark a dozen times.
in any of those other cases, has Commissioner Michael Cox called you up to his office to discuss your testimony in any of those cases? Yes or no?
That's not a yes or a no answer.
Well, yes, it actually is, Ms. Dever.
So no comments, okay? Just,
You understand the question?
The question, yes. The implication,
The question is, in any of those, I'm asking you an open-ended question. In any of those cases, Officer Dever, not including this one, has Commissioner Michael Cox ordered you up to his office to discuss your testimony?
no.
Thank you.
After Mr. Jackson finished his examination, Prosecutor Hank Brennan had the opportunity to cross-examine Ms. Dever. During his cross-examination, Mr. Brennan focused on the alleged blackmail to commit perjury. After the prosecution completed its cross-examination, defense attorney Alan Jackson conducted a redirect examination of Ms. Dever.
What you told those law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023 was, quote, you recalled seeing Higgins at the station later that day on Saturday. Dever thought it was also weird that Higgins and Chief Kenny Berkowitz were by themselves in the sally port of the police department, by themselves while Karen Reed's car was parked inside. Higgins was a witness and present at the gathering where O'Keefe was found dead outside, and then he was in the presence of important evidence. You were sitting at dispatch by yourself and saw on the camera outside of the sally port when they walked in.
Objection to the entire reading.
so beyond the scope, so you have to keep it.
There's more to the statement, Your Honor. Do you remember making that statement to the officers?
My recollection of the time was that, so yes.
Okay, great. Did you go on to say, speaking of being truthful, did you go on to say,
I'm objecting.
All right, so you have to ask differently, but I need to see you for a minute with this, and bring that with you, please.
Officer Dever, did you go on to say in that interview, quote, you never saw them leave, them being Brian Higgins and Chief Ken Berkowitz, you never saw them leave, but you recalled thinking to yourself that they were in the sally port for a wildly long time together in there, end quote. Did you say that?
That was my recollection of the time.
Okay.
So yes.
Have you ever heard of By the way, you indicated under questioning by Mr. Brennan that you knew what they wanted from me, meaning the defense, what they wanted from me.
Yes.
Remember saying that?
Yes.
Do you remember on that phone call that we read directly from the exact same report that I just read from? You remember that?
And I told you the same thing then.
That's not
Yes.
my question.
Objection.
Sustained.
My question is, just answer my question, Officer Dever. Did we read to you, were you read the exact same thing that I just read to you on that phone call?
Like you can't remember my name, I don't remember.
I can remember your name, Miss Dever.
Okay, so the answer is I don't remember. No
The answer is a
comment.
little more than that, Judge. I think we all.
All right, so
I'll
no
ask
no
you a
comments, just questions, please.
Do you recall us telling you that we were looking for the truth about your
Objection.
comments?
I'm going to allow it.
That we were looking for the truth.
Which I gave you, yes.
Did you also say on that phone call something to the effect of, I know you're going to tear me a new one because I'm changing my testimony?
Changing, no. But you're trying to do that.
Did you say, I know you're going to tear me a new one?
It's what you're trying to do, so yes.
Actually, what you said was, you're going to tear me a new asshole, didn't you?
I don't recall that, so that's putting words in my mouth.
I'm not asking you to put words in your mouth. I'm asking you if you remember saying that during that phone call. Oh,
I don't
I know
recall.
you're going to tear me a new asshole.
I don't recall.
Okay. But you do remember saying something to the effect of, I know you're going to tear me a new one, right?
Yes.
Okay. Have you ever heard of something called the blue wall of silence?
Objection.
Sustained.
Do you think it's important for police officers to protect one another in the field and out?
Objection.
Sustained.
Have you spoken with anyone, not Mr. Brennan, he's covered that. Have you spoken with anyone from the district attorney's office about your involvement in this case? Ever?
No.
Never?
Unless you're going to provide a person, I've never talked to any of these people.
Have you talked to anyone at the DA's office at all, in any regard?
Not to my recollection.
How about indirectly?
Not to my knowledge.
Are you friends with any people that you're aware of that are connected to this case? Are you personal friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, personal friends with anyone that's connected with this case?
Other people who's been on the witness stand, one person, yes.
Who's that?
Sarah Levinson.
How long have you known Sarah?
We became friends in middle school.
Did you watch any of the trial, this trial?
Clips in passing, but no, it's 6 hours a day. So I work during the day shift, no.
So you've seen some of the footage of the goings-on in this case, correct?
Yes, nothing with her. I did not watch her testimony.
Were you aware there was a sequestration order?
I don't know what that means, so no.
You're a sworn peace officer. You don't know what sequestration means
No.
in terms of witnesses?
No.
Not watching the proceedings in order to affect their testimony?
No, I wasn't aware.
But you did tune in to the case, correct?
In small clips, yes.
And you did, in fact, on August 9th, 2023, have a fulsome conversation with two sworn police officers about your memory of what you saw, your observations on January 29th, 2022, correct?
I don't know if they're police officers necessarily, but yes.
Law enforcement agents, how about that?
Yes.
And that conversation is reflected in this piece of paper that I just read to you, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Jackson pressed Ms. Dever again on her prior inconsistent statement. To explain this shift in her story, Mr. Jackson introduced the concept of the blue wall of silence. The blue wall of silence is an unwritten code in law enforcement where officers refuse to report misconduct, errors, or crimes committed by their colleagues, creating a barrier to accountability and transparency. Mr. Jackson's line of questioning suggested witness bias, arguing that Ms. Dever's retraction was not a genuine correction of memory, but rather a calculated move to protect her superiors, Agent Higgins and Chief Berkowitz, or that she was acting under undue influence or pressure from the police commissioner. By raising the specter of the blue wall of silence, the defense sought to establish that Officer Dever had a motive to alter her testimony in order to shield other law enforcement personnel from scrutiny. Following this, Mr. Jackson pivoted to procedural integrity, asking Ms. Dever if she was aware of the sequestration order currently in effect. Sequestration order refers to an isolation of the witness during the trial, meaning that he or she will not watch, talk, or relate to other witnesses during the proceeding of the case to ensure that they only testify to what they personally observed without adding, subtracting anything in their recollection with the intent to help any side. Mr. Jackson confronted Ms. Dever's statement of unknowing what a sequestration order is by being a law enforcement that testified in several other cases. Mr. Jackson confronted her with her own resume. As a seasoned law enforcement officer who has testified in numerous cases, her claim of ignorance regarding such a basic court procedure questioned her competency and suggests she may be being untruthful about other aspects of her testimony as well.
Your entire job revolves around what you say on the witness stand. Is that what you just testified to?
Yes.
And if you agree that what you said to those two law enforcement agents on August 9th, 2023, you would be implicating not one, but two police officers, law enforcement officers, correct? If you agreed with what you said in August of 2023, on this witness stand, you would be implicating 2 officers, fellow officers, correct?
So I'm confused as to what you're asking.
You would be implicating, if you agreed with me, you have not agreed that that was the truth. You've now indicated that what you told to law enforcement agents in August of 2023 was a lie.
No,
If you agreed with that statement here on the witness stand, you would be implicating 2 officers as having been in the Sally Port, weirdly, for a wildly long time with the SUV, implicating not 1, but 2 fellow officers, correct? That's what you would be doing.
it's not possible I saw
If you
that.
agreed with me,
Objection.
would you be implicating the reputations of 2 officers?
If I was to lie, then yes.
And your entire job revolves around what you say on that witness stand. That's what you said, correct?
I'm still,
That's what you just said, Officer Dever, correct?
I still don't really understand the question.
You just said, all I'm asking you is what you just said. I wrote it down. You just said, my entire job revolves around what I say on the witness stand, correct?
Yes to that
Thank
question.
you. That's all I have.
Ms. Dever's resignation followed a formal motion by Mr. Jackson demanding she be placed on the Brady list. Derived from the Supreme Court cases Brady versus Maryland, this is a registry of law enforcement officers who have been dishonest or have committed misconduct. Once an officer is on this list, prosecutors are legally required to disclose their history of untruthfulness to the defense in every future case they testify in. Mr. Jackson also requested an internal affairs investigation into Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox regarding the alleged ex parte meetings prior to the testimony change. On June 18, 2025, Karen Redd was acquitted of second-degree murder, manslaughter, and leaving the scene of an accident, but convicted of operating under the influence, leading to a sentence of probation. This episode illustrates just how heavily a case can turn on the credibility of a police investigation and the lengths to which the defense may go in order to challenge that integrity. Over the course of examination, Mr. Jackson walked the jury through multiple inconsistencies in Officer Dever's statements, from her conflicting accounts of seeing Agent Higgins and Chief Berkowitz in the Sallyport garage and her professed ignorance of the court's sequestration order. By highlighting these contradictions and emphasizing that Officer Dever's retraction aligned conveniently with the unwritten code of the blue wall of silence, the defense sought to deploy a classic Bowden defense, showing that her testimony was shaped not by truth, but by institutional pressure and bias. Ultimately, the jury acquitted Ms. Reed of the homicide charges, including second-degree murder and manslaughter, while convicting her only of operating under the influence based on forensic toxicology evidence. This split verdict seems to reflect the jury's assessment of the investigation's overall credibility, dismantled in part by Mr. Jackson's effective examination. Let us know if there is a case or courtroom interaction that you'd like us to explore in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe so that we can help foster a more informed society.